Recently, C-SPAN had Congressman Dave Brat on the program. He's a congressman from Virginia, and they were talking about the budget. So they took some callers, and one caller seemed to have a pretty serious question, followed by a not-so-serious question. Take a look.
My question is, since we're spending all this money, where are we getting the money from? And my second question is, if I can shit in your mouth.
Apologize for that, Congressman. Don't take that kind of language here on the Washington Journal. We'll move on.
No, you actually do. That happens all the time in the Washington Journal.
We don't take that kind of. Hey, you just did. Like, it's done. We recorded it.
Yeah, I hate to break it to you.
It's on YouTube.
Yeah, you just took it.
Yeah.
Okay.
And also, I like I'm sorry, on the Washington Journal. Nobody knows what that is. like just say C-SPAN.
You know what that reminded me of when O'Reilly says, talking points thinks there is no such thing as talking points. It's you, Bill.
It's you, Bill. But also, like we don't take that kind of thing on Washington Journal. Unlike those other, you want to talk about shitting in somebody's mouth, you call C-SPAN around 4 in the afternoon, okay?
It just makes me feel like all my adolescent prank calls were so unimaginative. Like, I could have really raised the bar there and called C-SPAN.
So Armenians have a phrase that says, I'm going to shit in your mouth. Right? That's like one of the worst things that you can say to someone that you're angry at. Like, Dena Takruri, right? How bad does that sound?
Takruri,
yeah. So like when I saw that, I'm like, Dad?
Okay, now you're gonna love this, right? Because Turks have the same saying. It's except it's in Turkish,
right?
Okay, but it's said so frequently that it's not even that bad.
Yes, yeah. I've heard that as well. Yes.
Okay,
yeah.
So maybe at least the Armenians take it seriously. Whereas the Turks think, of course, I will shit in your mouth.
Yeah, no, Dena Takruri is like one of the worst things you could say. I mean,
again, I've made so many Howard Stern references, but at the beginning of that, because I knew what he said, I was listening as to whether that was like Bigfoot from the Howard Stern. Like that sounded like that could easily have been.
No, I think you got to give the man his due. That was a good crank call.
He
set it up nicely, and I'm like, oh, he's worried about the budget. Oh no.
No, the best part was the congressman's face right after. He was like, did that just happen?
Yeah.
Like, he didn't even know what to say.
He kept opening his mouth. Like I was like,
his tongue was out a little bit.
It was. I was like, no, that's bad timing. Bad timing.
I don't. I'm not sure how Washington Journal works. I don't have to. It's not going to happen, right?
That's it.
Yeah.
I don't have to answer that, right?
Right? I'll take the first. I'd like to. Well, I will answer the first part of your question, good sir. Yeah.
If you don't remember, Dave Brat's the guy who beat Eric Cantor.
Right.
So in a legendary upset. And
he's enjoying his last, what will be his last year in office. It should be good.
Well, I don't know. And by the way, Dave Brat, I'd always been curious, so I asked someone recently to be slightly.
He was a teacher, right?
I don't remember that part.
Professor somewhere.
To be slightly substantive about this otherwise silly story, I asked somebody to look into whether Dave Brat actually had been good to his word and had been proposing legislation against the big banks who he had railed against. Mm-hmm. He won as further right-wing than Eric Cantor by being populist against the big banks. So that was a super interesting strategy. And the answer I got back is that, yes, he's actually been fairly consistent with that.
Oh, then I don't think anyone should shit in his mouth.
No, that's right. So there's a Republican, that I probably disagree with on at least 90% of the issues.
Yeah.
But that has been relatively consistent with what he said during his campaign. Okay, so let us reserve that kind of nonsense for other folks.
Yeah, I like that little information injection you put into the story,
That's right,
Cenk. I like that. Okay.